everybody. Welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. This is our Beast Tamer Bard build, episode 140. We just bested 100 face, or 100 face, and destroyed the device that he created. And now we are level 13, so we're going to do some level ups. Let's see what we get. This is actually really cool. We get access to 5th level spells on our bard now. And we get a new level of Summon Nature's Ally. So now we can summon a single Mastodon, or, I think more importantly, we can summon several, between 2 and 4 Smilodons. And we've already seen how strong the Smilodons are. So that is actually, I think, a very big deal. Oh, and our bardic performance becomes a swift action. Holy shit. That's cool. Right, neat. We are going to take Persuasion, use Magic Device, Knowledge, Arcana, World, Knowledge, Arcana, and World, rather. And I guess, honestly, Lore Nature is one of the things that we should be going with. Okie dokie. We actually have a feat here that I do not know that we... Oh, right. We're just taking teamwork feats at this point, right? I need to reference my handy-dandy Google Doc that has my Wrath of the Righteous stuff in it. It says shield wall, but we don't really have very many people that are doing shields now. Right now, it's really only Sociel. So I kind of feel like we might want to go with something else, like Shielded Caster or Shake It Off. Let's check what all we have. With Shielded Caster, Shake It Off, both of those are fine choices. We don't really do a lot of combat maneuvers. Coordinated defense would be better than coordinated maneuvers. Allied Spellcaster would actually probably be pretty decent. So let's take Allied Spellcaster. Okay, what are we looking at here? We've got some 3rd level spells. We already have many of these. Featherstep Mass could be cool. We're basically just looking for options that, at this point, I'm pretty sure we're just as many buffs as we can get up. Right? And 10 minutes per level is pretty cool. Ignores the adverse movement effects of difficult terrain. Not going to be a big deal for most scenarios, but, you know, the occasional situation, so... We'll take it. And here we go. Level 5. So, level 5s, what did we have on our thing? I think we had greater heroism, right, initially. But I don't know if that is actually a super useful thing for us anymore. Joyful Rapture seems good. Seems cool. Song of Discord. So originally we had Greater Heroism and Summon Large Elemental. Not against those two things. I do like the idea of being kind of, again, a summoner. The only issue with Greater Heroism is we already have Ember who can cast that, though I guess that does compete with Hellfire Ray, so we wouldn't want Ember to cast that consistently. we'll take heroism and summon large elemental, just because it kind of fits in with what we're doing. And there we go. Jumping in to Sela, I do think we are just going to follow her on down the path. We get more additional uses of Smite Evil and a new feat. Very cool. Religion, definitely. Selective channel could be cool. We've got improved critical scythe. We have weapon focus scythe. Blind fight could be good. Combat reflexes could be good. Critical focus could be good. Hammer the gap could be okay. Improved initiative could actually be good. Indomitable mount could be good. Kind of interested in the improved initiative, but I don't know if it stacks with the helmet, you know? So, I'm unsure there. I'm kind of interested in Indomitable Mount, honestly. That way, so Indomitable Mount helps us, you know, there are times where we get knocked, Sela gets knocked off of Calypso because Calypso fails some sort of DC. So that's a big deal, I think. Okay. Okay, this is going to be a big moment for Ember. We now have Hellfire Ray. We are now actually going to move out of Stigmatized Witch, and I believe we are heading over to Sorcerer. Yeah. And we are going to take Cross-Blooded Sorcerer, which is going to get us Bloodlines, right? We're going to jump into this. And this is going to be a really big deal for us. So here we are going to take... Elemental Focus Fire. This is going to increase the difficulty class for all saving throws for fire damage. Okay. And then here is the really, really, really big deal, right? We are going to take 2 Draconic Bloodlines. We're going to take Brass, right? Which is going to get us a series of things. And it really, we only have 1 level in it, so it's really just this. We're going to get this Draconic Bloodline Arcana Brass. Whenever we cast a spell with fire damage, that spell deals 1 point of damage per dice. Okay? Per die rolled. And if you remember, things like Searing Bolt or Hellfire Ray roll many, many die. So this is going to be a flat upgrade to each of those things. We're going to take Brass. We're going to take Greater Elemental. I think we're taking Greater Elemental Focus. Do Evocation. I think we're just going to do I think we're just going to do greater elemental focus fire. So again, our fire DC goes up by 1. And then we're going to jump right back in and we're going to take gold, because gold has the exact same thing, except it is the gold version, which increases all of our fire damage by +1 per die rolled. So now all of our fire damage is increased by +2 per die rolled. About to ask how many die they roll. Exactly. So for example, on a fireball, right? Every fireball that we throw out, a fireball is 8d6, right? So every fireball we throw out now is going to have a base increased damage of an additional +16, because it's going to be +2 per each die. If we jump over, let me finish this. I don't really think what we do here actually matters. So let's go ahead and take something like shield. Fine. Okay. So pause real quick, and we're gonna take a look at what Ember has, for example, right? So Hellfire Ray does 1 ray for every 4 caster levels beyond 11th, right? So up to a maximum of 3 rays at level 19. So right now it's just a single ray. Each ray deals 1d6 damage per caster level. So right now I am a caster level 13, so it does 13d6 for a single Hellfire Ray. So it does 13d6 plus 26 now, because it's +2 for every die rolled. So if that ray hits something, it is going to do 13d6 plus 26. When I hit level 15, I'll have 2 rays, and each of those rays will do 15d6 plus 30. And when I hit 19, each of them, I'll have 3 rays, and they'll be 15d6 plus 30 each. So if each of those 3 rays hit, they will do 45d6 plus 90 damage. And this is how all of a sudden, with a single level, Ember can just start to do astronomical damage, basically. Because now all of her stuff is just stacking bonus damage. Oh, this boy. Which is, I think, really, really cool. This one of the things that I do really think is neat about the Pathfinder system is the ability to, like, take a few dips here or there into other classes and have these really, really cool, really effective synergies. So I do think that is very neat. So again, another 13d6 that we can hit multiple people with, right? Just a regular controlled fireball, right? Or a regular fireball does 10d6. Sorry, not even 8d6. It does 10d6 now. So it does 10d6 plus 20 to everything that it hits, right? So it is a massive increase to base damage immediately. So very excited about that. That's going to be really cool. Let's jump into Sociel real quick. Sociel, we're just continuing on the way that we have been. Boom, boom, boom. I don't actually know about Sociel. We have Tower Shield proficiency on him. Well, yeah. I need to completely redo like 90% of my character's builds. We have medium armor focus. I don't know that we want heavy armor at all. Honestly, I don't know that I even care about heavy armor. on him. Things like lightning. I need to probably like respec him to have more offensive capabilities. Honestly. I would say at this point, what do we have? We have short spear. I think he's still using a short spear. I'm not positive. Fuck it. That's not going to be a very useful thing for him. He doesn't have a very high base attack bonus right now. So. That's okay, though. We will augment him later. Hell Knight. What is going on?
Decide already.
That was weird. There was some weird shit going on there. Everything was in red. Okay, we're getting his final armor training. That's pretty cool. So basically, he's able to just like move his, yeah, he's able to wear heavy armor without almost any penalty, basically. Cool. Don't really have anything going on here with him. His shit's all over the place. Greater 2-weapon fighting, probably. Or hammer the gap. Hammer the gap, actually, in this situation, it's probably better. Oh, we'll take greater 2-weapon fighting. Aura of protection, right. Okay, we get a new favored terrain. Yeah, snapshot's probably the better concept here. What do we have already? Do we not have a favorite terrain at all? Does not look like it. Abyss? It kind of looks like we because of the espionage expert, we don't get as many favorite terrain options. Okay, let's go Abyss. We're not going to be in the Abyss for a long time, but it doesn't look like we get another set here. So, is Ranger a cross class for Urushalane? No, Ranger is her base class, but she's Ranger with a subclass of espionage expert. So, she's got she is a unique, she's not a regular type of ranger. So, like, I think regular rangers get, like, pets, or maybe that's the hunter that gets pets. I don't remember. But either way, I think she should have gotten a favored terrain earlier, but because of the type of ranger that she is, I think she didn't get one until later on. Animal growth. She picked up animal growth. That's actually a really strong spell. Wow. Okay, for some reason you thought Greybor was a ranger. Not sure. I think Greybor is a slayer. I think he's a rogue slayer, monster slayer, or something like that. Is, I believe, the situation. Not 100%, but I believe.
Allow me.
Okay. Weapon finesse. Like, hasn't it tried to get me to do weapon finesse multiple times? Should weapon finesse be something? But, like, he's got higher strength than he does anything else. Improved critical claw, combat reflexes, weapon finesse, alertness. Oh, did we want to do? No. Not 100% sure. We might just go critical focus. Critical focus or blind fight would probably be pretty good here. We'll go critical focus. Take combat reflexes. I don't think initiative matters because Calypso basically goes on the initiative of Sela. Combat mobility would be good. I think we're just gonna go combat reflexes. The solid. Okay, and that should be it for now. So, I think we're done here. I think that is it for Blackwater. So let's. My God, it feels like we have been here for so long, and really we have, because it's been like a solid 5 or 6 hours in Blackwater, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, this has not been a short or easy place for us to beat. This has been quite challenging. Okay. That's it. All she wrote. I'll be right back. I gotta get a implement of. Wait. Did I disturb you, Odie? Apparently I disturbed him. He is unhappy with me. My God! We see the sunlight. Holy shit. It's been a long time since we've been back here. My goodness. Oof. But I believe we've basically done everything that we can up here. Time to head, probably time to teleport back home is what it's time to do. Yeah, we've got a couple of things to see. Let's pop over to our individuals. Where are we heading? We're heading down south, right? We've got to fight more demon armies down in the south. So, yeah. Clerics of Caden Kalian. Actually, do think we want these and. That, and then the Hell Knights actually have, yeah. Hell Knights actually have clerics. Cool. Eight, 999. Fuck me. Lan wants to talk. And we're out of material points again, because material points are like the big limiting factor for us right now. Okay, though. I just disturbed the boy. I'm sorry, Boy O'Bean. I didn't mean to disturb you. Alright, we're teleporting back home. Alright, and I think... I want Douche Canoe out of my party before I do anything. Let's head to the Citadel. Because we're supposed to talk with Lan, I believe. Boom, 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 boom. Oh no. Lan. Lan rubs the reptile side of his face, picking at the scales with his claw. Can I rename Regil Douche Canoe? Probably not, but it would be funny. I don't know if you can rename people. I will definitely try it, though. I'll do that without points. That's it, Commander. I can't do it anymore. I'm not a chief. Alright, what happened? I can't handle it. I thought it'd be my people crying to you. But it turns out it's me. I just don't know how to make the right decisions. Let's try to figure out how to deal with your problems. Alright. First of all, Erin, a girl from the tribe, wants to marry an elf. When do they even have time to get together? It feels like I'm the only one without a love life around here. Anyway, she needs the chief's blessing. They want to be married by the laws of the tribe. But I won't do it. He's an elf, she's a mongrel. Letting them marry means dooming them to eternal misery. It's wrong. But if I don't marry them, I'll be making her miserable now. My second problem, 5 fools are so afraid of demons that they've hidden in the sewage system and refuse to come out. I tried talking to them, pointless, and I can't just drag them out. I had a plan to lure them out with food, but I think they found some down there. The rats here are definitely bigger than what we are used to. I'm already thinking of so many options here, my man. The third problem, what should we do with the children and old people? This is a military campaign. Old people can do some household chores, but kids only get under everyone's foot. I have no idea what to do. See, I'm not a chief. I'm probably the first person to ever ask this, but demote me, please. No. The first problem. Love is always a good thing, right? But how do I approve of a marriage between an elf and a mongrel? She'll be dead in 20 years or so, but he'll live for 1,000 years more. I can't in good conscience bless them. I can't stand in the way of their happiness either. That wasn't a request. Just wanted to ask if it was possible. I don't know. I haven't tried to rename any of the characters, so I have no idea if it is possible. My response was more on the lines of like it'd definitely be appropriated if we can, because he is. Okay. We got good, lawful, evil. You will have to hurt someone, either yourself or them. Decide which one you are more willing. Oh, which one you are more willing to do. No, good. Let them get married. They are adults and can choose their own fate. Period. Done. End of story. Let them get married. Sounds like a plan that it should at least be considered. Damn it, I was hoping my problems were unsolvable. They're adults, let them do what they want, should kind of be like the go-to answer, Lan. I think maybe I should just throw a barrel of powder into the sewers and light the fuse. It's the only way to get those cowards out of there. If I do that, then you'll get another fuse. But if I do that, then you'll get another fuse, and I don't think I'll like where you stick that one. This is where my mind went, right? Like the chaotic thing, like legitimately, here's the thing, some of the mongrels have lived underground beneath the city for so long, right? Like it's natural that some of them, when they come out, like it just doesn't work, it doesn't click for them. Dresden is a city with an undercity, a sewer system. By all means, employ them. Turn them into the Rat Catchers Guild, right? Like, there are things they could be doing down there. Making sure we're not being sabotaged, defending the city against underground threats, keeping the sewers clean, killing rats, etc. Absolutely. Let them stay there and keep the fortress free of rats. I don't mind. That easy, huh? Maybe it could really work. Fine, I'll admit it. I just didn't want to think about all of this. My head is spinning. Third problem. For some reason, I never thought the entire tribe would come up to the surface. I only ever pictured the warriors up here. But what do I do with the rest? Guess we could use the hungry infants to deafen the enemy. They scream so loud you can hear them behind the walls of Dresden. Can't think of what to do with the others. I kind of think just... Okay, so we could send them to Nerosian, but that will be tearing families apart, right? This is a city. There are people that live here. Yes, it is first and foremost a bastion, right? A fortification. But There are other people besides soldiers here. There are people who run taverns. There are people who, sell things. There are clergy here, right? This is not just soldiers. It's safe in the fortress. Let them stay for now. If it becomes a problem, we can think of something later. I'll still worry about them, but I guess worry. But I guess that's what it means to be chief, right? Nothing to it. Here's a lesson from one commander to another. Don't be afraid of making your own decisions, but know that you can always talk to me. Alright, lesson learned. Try to be as good as you. It's not the poor folks' fault they got stuck with the most useless chief in all Golarion and maybe the adjacent plains too. Chief who is extra plainly bad, I'd say. My god. He's talking about himself. Still rude, but yeah, he's talking about himself. Chop! Big yawn. Big yawn, boy.
Rachel's texting me, friends, freaking out because she moved into a new house.
Uh-huh.
Seashells on all the windowsills, and she doesn't know what it means.
That someone decorated with seashells.
Like
yeah, like, what the fuck?
You need to cleanse the house. Oh, you need to call the person that let you have the house and ask them why they didn't clean it.
You need to cleanse your brain. My goodness. Cleanse the house because of seashells.
Strategically placed. Well, I mean, I wouldn't just chunk my seashells on the window either.
Strategically placed, like
Like seashells would be?
odious, like, ritual could they be performing with seashells? Like, my god. Captain Odan. Commander,
Captain Odin.
We've managed to defeat Karamzadeh's host. The remnants of his army have retreated to lick their wounds. We must use this opportunity to go on the offensive. But right now, our army is not fully prepared to begin such an expansion. The further we advance into the enemy territory, the more we'll need strong and mobile cavalry. I propose we replenish our forces in light cavalrymen. Mindev could offer us plenty. There are many lone paladins on Golarion like me who travel and help the needy. Shall we call them to our aid? Boy? Cavalry is a crucial element of the army, one that's difficult to replace. Mendevian knights often sacrifice their defense in favor of offensive power, and it's time to put an end to this wastefulness. All riders must be encased in heavy cuirassier. Cuirassier? Every time I see this word, I'm like, I fuck it up 30,000 times.
Cuirassier.
Cuirassier? Ooh, I am far off in that one. Cuirassier.
Cuirassier.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Google. I will take it, though. Cuirassier. In heavy cuirassier armor, so as to avoid unnecessary losses. In my long and productive life, I've taken assignments involving knights, nomads, and other targets who enjoy prancing about on horses. Let me tell you, the hardest of those targets were hedge knights. They're true dogs of war who don't have a homeland. What they do have is experience and a sharp blade. If you need cavalry, I say they're your guys. Yeah, I see. I went that same route, Jay. It's cuirassier, which is like not how I have ever heard that or thought of it. And point of fact, I think I've heard that used in many like, YouTube videos covering like medieval armor and tactics and things like that, right? And I don't think I've ever heard anyone say it like that. So I'm sus. I'm very sus. Don't like it, right? Okay, here we go. Normal situation. I want to hear the opinions of my advisors. Sela, what advantages do paladins offer? The gods have blessed them with strength, protected them against darkness and corruption. They spend their whole lives training and performing great deeds. Destroying evil is what they live for, and it's what they do better than anyone. I am generally inclined to go with Sela on this one, especially since we already have some paladins, period. It'd be cool to have more. Regil, why do you advocate for cuirassiers? There's a certain breed of fighter who thinks that the glory they win on the battlefield justifies any amount of risk. That may be acceptable for them, but it's not acceptable for their commanding officers. Wasting cavalry and daring attacks only saps the strength of our own army. We must see to it that all riders are equipped with the best armor, the kind that will provide the highest chance of survival on the battlefield. I would also advise against recruiting any glory seekers or protectors of high ideals to serve as our cavalry, for the aforementioned reason. Captain Odan prims his lips and says forcefully, "The riders of Mindev aren't accustomed to fearing for their hides. Your demands, Regil, may lead them to believe that you don't trust them, or even worse, suspect them of cowardice. Grey War, what makes hedge knights so good in a battle?" "I once had a contract to kill a highborn baron. The famed warrior never went anywhere without an escort. So I prepared an ambush for his entourage on a forest road in the dark. The screams of that baron when he and his horse fell into the spiked pit, and above him, slaughter going on. I showed myself, split open the head of the nearest guard, and darted into the bushes. They followed, right into my traps. Crossbows, wooden stakes sticking out of the ground, all sorts of things. Arrows flying about, everyone shouting. They made such a racket they scared themselves. They thought they'd been hit by a whole gang of assailants. In any case, the knights who served the Baron because of their oath got the jitters and bolted, even his kin. But the 2 hedge knights he hired fought like wild beasts. Those were worthy opponents indeed. Simple. If they know that if they don't win, they don't get a single coin. Hedge knights are seasoned folk. They've been around. Dangerous, too. They fight for victory and gold, not for honor or glory. They don't care if their tactics are cheap. They can kill the enemy. They will. I actually like Greyboar's argumentation here, but I'm still probably going to go with paladins. I doubt the people you described even have the right to call themselves knights. I'm not keen on fighting side by side with someone who sees the Crusades as a chance to make a fortune. Captain Odan, what are the benefits of light cavalry? Light cavalry may be inferior to knights as far as equipment quality goes, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Firstly, the lightness of the armor gives them maneuverability, and secondly, many noble offspring who have battle skills and a fast horse but can't afford expensive armor will gladly answer our call, eager to earn glory with their feats. I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense. Like, generally speaking, when it comes to cavalrymen, the horse is one of, if not the most expensive item. At least in, like, medieval era scenarios, like in more modern times. I mean, obviously, horses are still super expensive now. But in, like, you know, Napoleonic to World War era, horses were perhaps, I mean, they were still expensive, but you didn't have to worry about armor then. So, you know, either way, though, like, point that I'm trying to make is like, saying, oh, it would be cheaper to just field a shit ton of light cavalry versus a few heavy cavalry is kind of a little bit of a misnomer, because the horses themselves are incredibly expensive to raise and keep and maintain, right? If Mindev just has vast stores of horses where they're just like, yeah, we got like 300,000 horses out in the pasture, then sure, whatever. Put people on them, let's go. You know? But otherwise, it's kind of like a smart thing to protect both your horse and your rider. So long as they don't flee the battlefield first on those very same fast horses. They're lovers of glory and easy victories. Everything is clear to me now. What do we got? Main stables provide weekly recruitment growth for paladins, cavalry capable of healing allies. All mounted scouts are promoted to paladins. That's really cool. Mounted scouts are promoted to cuirassiers. Let's take a look at these. Oh my goodness. 377 hit points. Can I... I can't do multiple. 91 hit points, 18 AC. 377 hit points, 23 AC. Those things are insanely strong. Plus 15. Hedge Knights. 151, 19, critical strike, 20% chance to deal a critical hit. Battering ram attack, great axe. $15 to $22. Assuming the Hedge Knight's still the most. 10 to 21, actually. The Paladins are not. I think I'm gonna go to Paladins because I want Paladins. I think it's cool. I haven't let you down, and they won't either. With that, this meeting of the Military Council is adjourned. I'll brief the officers on the expected reinforcements immediately and see to it that our available stables are expanded and properly refitted. Hell yeah. Very cool. Alright. We're gonna talk around the office real quick. I want to see how much it might take to actually... We're getting 80 material points a day. $5 gold per week. My goodness. Material points are rough.
Can't make the demons wait.
Fucking co. No, my goodness. Okay. Let us head on out of here. We're just gonna head into the streets.
Beautiful.
Okay, we're gonna pop down. Give the old sell. And we're gonna level. I think I want to start bringing Nenio with me. Okay. We're gonna do bulk selling. Deal, sort, type. We want anything that is just anything that's a +1 or not named. Fear plus 3s. Holy shit. Worth so much. They are plus 3s, but damn. Holy shit.
Let's see what we can do.
Okay, Ninio is level 11. I'll focus illusion. I'll take initiative. Did I ever play Shadowrun? You've only played the Super Nintendo version, but I think you kept Kitsune alive throughout the game. I never played the Super Nintendo version, but I have played Shadowrun games. I played the recreated Shadowrun that came out on. I mean, it came out a lot of things, but on Steam. Actually, I can check and see what it's called right now. Shadowrun Returns, and I've played Shadowrun Dragonfall. I've played both of those on Steam, and then I've actually played just like a session and a half of an actual like Shadowrun game, but that was probably like 10 years ago or more at this point. Ooh, no, probably definitely more because it was in early college, I believe. So I remember basically nothing of it. I think we're just gonna take improved initiative. The way that Nenia works, you really just want to go fast and you just want to boom delete something, if at all possible. Okay. Holy shit, what do we got? Phantasmal Putrefaction. I think medium dragon-sized creature. That's kind of cool. Illusion. Do they really care about phantasmal putrefaction? Like, I don't know that it matters too terribly much. The likelihood that they're gonna like drop from wisdom damage is low, very very low. It's not a magical sleep. I don't know. I kind of feel like the mass options are probably kind of like the way to go here. True Seeing is very nice. Stone to Flesh could be super useful, actually. Okay. We'll do Phantasmal Putrefaction and we'll do Stone to Flesh. Oof, more intelligence. Sure. Easy. At this point, I think we just take the fucking... Because there aren't a lot of, like, buffs or anything that we care about. Like, we're not going to kit her out with a bunch of greater heroisms, right? But we might pick up, like, 1, 2... Which one does Social not have? I think Social doesn't have, like, either intelligence or charisma. Take those. Eh. I kind of feel like we would want to take meta magic here. So we would want what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that we can use as many. What is it? Is it? Phantasmal Killer. Yeah. We're trying to use as many Phantasmal Killers as we can. And then is 7 the next one? No, I think 8 is the next one. Soul Reaver. It's weird. That's 9th level. Okay, so weird is the spell that functions like Phantasmal Killer, but is a AoE, right? So, Phantasmal Killer is a 4th level spell, and we basically want as many Phantasmal Killers as we can. So we basically want as many 4th level spells, and then as many 5th or 6th or 7th level spells as we can get as well. So, there are certain meta magics that we can use to fuck around with the spell level on something. So I think it's heightened. So yeah, I think it's heightened that I'm thinking of. Let's double check. So bolster does 2 more points of damage per die roll, right? Empower does more damage, which we don't care about, because we just care about Phantasmal Killer killing, right? Extend, we don't care about. Heightened, I think, is what we're interested in. Spells have the maximum effect possible. That also doesn't matter. Persistent. Persistent could actually be good. Whenever a creature targeted by a persistent spell or within its area succeeds on its saving throw against the spell, it must make another saving throw against the effect. If a creature fails its second saving throw, it suffers the full effects of the spell. So yeah. So we could take persistent and we could level up. We could do 6th level Phantasmal Killers. That would require them to roll again, basically. You had not researched what meta magic involved, so it's effectively the ability to spend points to empower spells in your book. So basically what it is you have to spend a feat to take a meta magic, or there are meta magic rods that you can use instead, right? But you spend a feat to take a meta magic. That meta magic has a specific effect. So for bolster, for example, you can add 2 points of damage to each die rolled, but the spell that you put it on is a spell higher, right? So you have to use it with spell slots +1 higher than what it would normally be. So for a fireball example is a level 3 spell. So you would go into your spell book and you would select, I want to bolster meta magic fireball, and then you would have fireballs at level 3, and then you would have bolstered meta magic fireballs that you could cast with level 4 slots, right? But they would have the effect of bolster. So each of the meta magic effects have some sort of level requirement. So +2 levels. So this would take a fireball from a level 3 spell to a level 5 spell, but it would make your fireballs deal more damage, right? Like, so each of the meta magics is utilized in a different particular way. Heightened is a very interesting one because it basically just allows you to take almost any spell and use it as a different spell level, and the only change is that it just counts as that spell level, right? But persistent particularly, so heightened is useful for us and we'll probably also take it, but I think in this situation persistent is very strong because it takes our 6th level spell slots, which I don't know that we really care too terribly much about. Yeah, that's what we just picked up, right? We just picked up this situation where we didn't care about phantasmal putrefaction or, you know, any of the buffs because we get those buffs elsewhere, right? So instead, we can turn all of our 6th level spell slots into saving throws or into phantasmal killer slots, which force the target to re-roll if they succeed. So, and Phantasmal Killer is the spell for Ninio where it's like, if that spell succeeds, there's 2 saving throws on it. If they fail both of the saving throws, they just die. They just straight out die. So Persistent is going to make them, if they succeed, roll again to see if they fail. So I think Persistent is actually going to be really, really good for us in this particular situation. Anyways, I've been kind of like hemming and hawing on this for a while, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab Persistent, and then we'll talk more about it later. Level 7 spells. Invisibility Mass is kind of cool. Scary, like a power word. Absolutely like a power word. It's a little more tame than a power word because you do get like a saving throw, whereas like a power word kill, if you're under the HP limit, you just die, no save, nothing, right? This, you do get to save twice against it before you die, but if you build Ninio right, it's really hard to save against it. So, you know. So we have Invisibility Mass, just kind of whatever. I don't know that this really matters, but we could pick it because it's just cool. And then Shadow Conjuration Greater. Again, I think shadows only matter if you're really going for a shadow build, which we're not. So in this particular situation, I would say we want to look for buffs, things that we can take to kind of like help ourselves out. Ice Body is actually one of those buffs that we could take. Joyful Rapture we've seen is kind of fine. Legendary Proportions is pretty strong. Do we have... I thought Neneo got the animal in size increasing one, but I think that's actually Camellia. So that's unfortunate. Powered Blind's kind of cool. True Seeing Communal. Very good, actually. Though it's a little expensive with all that diamond dust. Walk Through Space. Polymorph Greater. Right. Kind of cool. I think for this particular situation, we're probably just going to take Legendary Proportions and True Seeing Communal. Again, a lot of these are very interesting buffs that we can take and we might use on the occasion. But a lot of things I think we might just have Neneo upcast from other spells. Anyways, that is going to be the end of this video. If you're watching on Twitch, stick around. We might be playing another one. If you're watching on YouTube, hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time for more Pathfinder Wrath of the Right. Goodbye, everybody. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.